loved it. I became fascinated with it. I started to have tomatoes and cucumbers. But obviously, even if you have 20 plants, you're just gonna have maybe like 4 tomatoes a month. It's not enough. And so.
And did the pig eat that stuff?
Well, he stole quite a few,
I
man,
bet
and
he
I
did.
was
Yeah.
not happy. And I also had to fight with my own chickens. They would steal my tomatoes, and then I had iguanas that would steal like anything they had. So I figured that if I made like this weird sound, like they would leave. So if I heard them like getting close, I would start making sounds to scare them
Did it
off.
work?
It worked.
Okay.
Yeah, the louder you scream, the faster they will. And then I had to spearfish the rest of the food. So I would usually have enough food for the first 10 days, which is like fruits and veggies. And then the rest of the time I had only like grains like rice and beans and chickpeas and stuff like that. And I had to go out and fish. If there was bad weather, I would just have a bowl of rice or something. But if there was good weather, I would always go out. And I started getting like really into like understanding the whole area where I was in. And so I started doing like really long swims. I would do like 10 kilometers a day, be on the water for like 4 hours or so. And usually like I would just swim in a reconnaissance mode the first 3-4 kilometers, and then with a Hawaiian sling, which is a spear that you kind of like, you all know it, it's a spear that you kind of go and just let it loose.
It's with elastic.
With an elastic, rubber, and then it's not the ones that you shoot like that. I feel those are a little bit like cheating. After you
She's
only
the
have
real Bond
other
girl,
one.
I said. Yeah.
And then and then when I was swimming back, that's when I would start like kind of like trying to look for something. I wouldn't like to, I would usually avoid getting lobster because they're super cute, like underwater. They live in families and they're like really protective of each other, and they're very stupid because they're like really curious. And so when you go down and you find them and you find like this big hole full of like 5-6 lobsters, they all just look at you and they take out like their little antenna and they start like touching you and figuring out that you're like, am I really this hungry? Can I kill this little like family thing? And I knew like 3 or 4 spots of lobsters that I knew that they were there. They were always there. And one day I really didn't spear anything and I was so hungry, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go get the fat one. And I got this big fat lobster and I really enjoyed it. But I knew that was the father, right, of the group. And he had like 6 small little lobsters around, which were either female or children. And whenever I would swim back, I would just kind of like swim past her. I was like, I ate their father, I ate their father. The guilt never went away because you kind of like saw them every day, right? So you kind of like, oh shit, I'm a bad person. But mostly it would be fish. The problem with fish is that you would always get sharks when you would spearfish. And so when you're like in such long swims, sometimes I would like tie the kayak behind me just to have like an extra support and vision. But it was like a double-edged sword because I didn't want anyone to know that I was there, because I am a girl. And I am alone and I am in an island. And so, like, that's the main thing that most people told me about. Like, weren't you scared? Like, weren't you, like... And I'm like, yeah, man, like, I couldn't even think about it, you know? Because the danger was so real and it was so high of everything that could have happened that I just had to push it out of my mind. And the way that I did it was by creating, like, a character. As you can see, I had a lot of time by myself. And so I created this character of the crazy woman. literally. And so sometimes people would go to the island, and mostly it would be fishermen that would be looking for a place to charge the phone. I was living in a little cabin that had a couple of solar panels that you could see if you would like go by the island. And so when fishermen would see the solar panels, they would usually like want to stop by just to charge their phones. But I couldn't take the risk of anyone knowing that I was there by myself. And so I couldn't allow them. I couldn't like give them a charge or anything. And so what I did, because these are like Belizean fishermen, like big, black, aggressive guys, and so you just can't be nice there. You need to be something else.
For sure.
And so I found this old t-shirt, massive old t-shirt, and I had like these nasty old pillows. And so I would put one here, and then I had the cut, right? So I had the limp. And I had the big shirt on top, and I had a machete.
Machete.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you would hear like a boat go by, I would just come out with the machete and just kind of like
Waving the machete.
Get the fuck out of my island! I would like mess up my hair, and I had
Just be like a crazy lady.
hair, right? I would put leaves in it, and I had like this big like sunglasses, like like
Wow.
And you put pillows to make yourself look big.
Yeah.
big and deformed.
Deformed.
Like, imagine
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the humpback
like a
of the Pig Island.
Quasimodo type of
Quasimodo.
situation.
And then you scared the fishermen away.
And then I would chase them off with the machete.
Might have been
and I would be, like,
easier just to
like,
relocate
cutting
the
off, like, I would be
solar
cutting off,
where they
like,
couldn't see it.
branches and just chasing off people, like, get the fuck out of my island. And I would get really nasty. I don't want to swear a lot because,
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
But, okay. Yeah, I would get really nasty. Like, I'm gonna chop your balls off.
Oh,
And they would just run, right? Like, they would just, like, run.
Yeah, everyone had
And
it.
I would do this, like, every time someone came to the island. Like, I heard the engine, and I would just get my costume on, and it was
So they would spread the word to their friends. Don't go there.
The thing is that, for me, it was just like, okay, like, this is what I'm doing, and it makes me
A
feel
survivor.
safer.
Sure.
Like, it wasn't for other people.
Yeah.
It was for me. And so, like, I thought it was funny, to see the fisherman run away. And then, like, after 6 months in the island, one of the times that I went ashore to do the visa run and